Let's call them and tell them about this guy.
That is great.
The result is that they are able to solve the problems of hundreds of people in the course of a year without ever starting a new program. Just connecting them with the programs that already exist. We find that in a city, you don't have to create new programs. They're already there, but the people who need the help never go. And Jesus said they would never come to us. He said, you're supposed to go to them. Go ye into all the world. And so that's the way it works. And kids come and say, we want to live the simple life. Fine. We're going to put you in this house. And you say, and what's the simple life? Here's a simple life. You're going to have to raise your own support. But the support will come to the office. And you will get to live on each month $50. So you can't live on $50. Yes, you can. If the 6 of you come together and pool your money, see, you have to give up your individuality. If you want to do it on your own, you're not going to be able to take care of yourself with $50. But if we all get together, we can buy food, we can sustain ourselves. And maybe if we need to get new clothes, we have to go down to the Salvation Army. But we can do this. Our organization takes care of health insurance and all of that. But you're going to be living. So if you're going to go to a movie, you have to think twice. Can we afford it? Do you see? Because the whole group has to go.
Yeah, they can't go alone.
Yeah, see. So, my goodness. So, and to live that simple life, I was in Oakland, which is one of the cities we're operating in Chicago and Oakland. So, all 6 groups are going to come together at this church, and we're going to have a little pep talk and see how they're doing. I get off the rapid transit system. I can't find the church. So I said to these 2 ladies I met on the street, can you tell me where Asbury Methodist Church is located? One woman said, oh, it's up the street, about 2 more blocks on the right. Other woman said, oh, no. He's talking about that church around the corner. You know that church that has those young people? You know that church where they pray for everybody? And I thought to myself, when was the last time I ever heard them say about a church, that's the church that prays for everybody? I heard them say, that church has a great preacher, or that church has a great youth program, or that church has a great social justice program. When was the last time you ever heard anybody say,
the church that prays for everybody?
This is what the word was out on the street.
Wow.
Because these kids went to this church, and all they knew is that these kids went to a church where they prayed for everybody. You do that for a year. I'll send your kid back to you. Totally transformed. I guarantee you, totally transformed.
You take troubled kids or just normal kids?
Take troubled kids.
You will take a troubled kid?
Take troubled kids.
Well, what's your address?
Well, just write to me at Eastern University, St. David's, Pennsylvania, and the zip code is 19087.
Okay.
19087. 1987 with a 0 in the middle. 19087. Tony Campolo, Eastern University, St. David's, Pennsylvania, 19087.
Wow.
You say, don't we need a street address? Yes, there is a street address, but the people at the post office know me so well.
They do?
All you have to do is get it to the post office.
Tony.
Yeah. But, yeah, we can do that. Incidentally, one of these kids was dragged into my office. You'll love this story. Shoved into a chair. And the father started yelling at me, saying, you got him into all of this red letter Christian stuff, following the red letters of the Bible, Jesus. You know, he thinks he's got to give everything away to the poor. He's on the streets with pimps and whores and homeless people in ministry. He says, don't get me wrong, Campolo. I don't mind being Christian up to a point. And every time I tell that to a congregation, there's laughter that goes up. And then I've got them.
Yeah.
And I say, isn't it true of every one of us? Each one of us here today, we're all willing to be Christian.
Up to a point.
Up to a point. And his son said, Dad, could that point be the cross? Ooh. When it cost you something.
What did you say?
I didn't have to say anything.
What did the dad say?
Just kind of something, you know.
Did he give up? Did the dad give up?
Yeah, that's right. We all want to be Christian up to a point, namely the cross, when it's going to cost us something. When it's going to cost us something. We want to be Christian, we just don't want it to cost us anything.
You know, I'll be honest, I don't want to, All I'll do, I mean, this is what, if I could choose something for myself, I just don't want to miss a meal.
Yep.
I do want to be able to eat anytime I can eat that I'm hungry. I mean, I'm going to just be honest. And I want to sleep on clean sheets.
Yeah.
I always had this fear in the back of my head that I will end up on the side of the road with a "will work for food" sign, because those people got there somehow.
Yeah, they did.
You know, they made some decisions, and I can make those same decisions.
Well, when listen to this. Listen to this.
And is that bad? I mean,
You're still working. I'm
yeah,
still working.
Yeah.
This past year, 2 million Americans lost their jobs. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
2 million jobs
Yeah.
disappeared. And they didn't just lose their jobs. The jobs disappeared. We lost 2 million jobs in America.
Oh, Lord, what are we going to do?
What's going to happen? And all of a sudden, we have reached a point. Are you ready for this, Mark? The majority of people who are homeless right now are women and children, not shiftless drunk men. I mean, it's bad out there. It's bad. I was in a shelter in Alberta, Canada. It was in the city of Calgary, and they took me into this shelter for the homeless. And I looked around, and Mark, there wasn't a single man in the place. They were all women and children. Out on the street, having lost their homes, no place to go. What are we going to do? And so here's the Bible verse.
That's got to feel hopeless.
Well, here's the verses that trouble us. Trouble me. These trouble me. If you know of someone, John 3:17 and 18, if you know of someone who is in need, and you have what it takes to meet that person's need, and you keep what you have while that person suffers, how can you say, I have the love of God in my heart? See? So getting back to it all, when young people say, you know, I'm attracted to this simple lifestyle, we say, come and live with us. But here is what we teach them. Ananias and Sapphira in the Bible are condemned by Peter, not because they didn't give everything to the poor, but because they lied about it. They pretended to be holy, holy, holy. Listen, and Peter says, look, the stuff that you had, it was yours to keep. Nobody said you had to give this up. Nobody says you have to give this up. Do you see? That's all I'm saying. What you know, there's a great line of...
just don't say you have if you haven't.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, you can, I love this. St. Augustine's great quote. Love God, he said, and do as you please.
I love that too.
You know, isn't that a great line? And of course,
because if you love God, won't you do what pleases him?
Oh, there you got it. And the more you love him, the more you will want to please him.
Right.
And that's the way you begin to answer all the questions.
Yeah.
The more I love him, the more what will please me is what pleases him.
Yeah.
And so I say to the person who has a lot of wealth, does it please you to have this? Then keep it. There may come a moment when it doesn't please you to have this. That's the time you need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And when you got to let go of it.
Well, that lets me off the hook a little bit.
Yeah. It pleases you to have all of this.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, I admit it.
But you know, don't get the idea, people, that this guy is a materialist. Because he was just last night doing a thing for a mission out in Oklahoma. And they paid him. Are you ready for this?
Don't tell that.
I won't tell.
Don't tell.
I won't give you the amount. It was good money. Is that enough? And he gave it back to the mission.
Well, pat me on the back.
I will pat you on the back.